Here we go. Friday, May 8th. This is going to be a beautiful, short and sweet conversation for our Financial Fitness Friday. Um, it was something recently brought to my attention by my son. My son said something to me to the effect of, on your Financial Fitness Friday, why don't you talk about, luxury cards, and platinum cards, and gold cards, and black cards, and give people advice on how to get these cards or what's the benefits of these cards. And I thought that was good sound advice because, people are interested and some people don't know. But there's a lot of people out there. If you go to YouTube, there's a lot of people out there that are reviewing these cards and talking about these cards and the pros and the cons. And trust me, there are pros and cons to these cards. But what I do in my communication is I talk about mindset and understanding. Because one thing is for certain, you can have a wallet or pocketbook full of cards. But if you don't have the right principles and stewardship, you won't have those cards for long. And or you'll be walking around with a pocketbook full of cards that are all maxed out. And trust me, there's a lot of people in that situation. So we're going to talk about something tonight that I think is a tad bit more important than black card, platinum card, gold card, yellow card, whatever the card is. But it's stewardship over these cards, how to manage them, and how to have them work for you, not against you. So this is going to be a cool session. It's going to be a fun session. And it's going to be a quick one because I don't think I need to go so much in depth into the cards themselves because I'm focused on mindset. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Good credit mindset. Let's get started. So, this is Financial Fitness Friday with D.E. Wilder, and I am D.E. Wilder. I'm glad that you are here joining me tonight. This is going to be a fantastic session. I hope that this is helpful to someone. I hope in everything I do and everything that I talk about is to inspire someone, to inform someone, to support someone, to educate someone so that they can go forth and be that much greater in whatever they're doing. So, again, welcome, family, friends, and fraternal souls. This is your brother in growth and your partner in purpose. I am D.E. Wilder. This is Financial Fitness Friday, focusing on financial fitness for the future. So, as always, take a deep breath. Breathe with me today. Let's unwind. It's Friday. Let's let it go. Because today's conversation is not simply about credit scores, as I just mentioned. It is not about loans loans or interest rate or whatever financial institution that you choose to do business with. No. Today's conversation is about mindset because before healthy credit become a number, it first becomes a way of thinking, a disciplined thought process, a responsible pattern of behavior, a commitment to your future self. So far too often, many people are taught how to spend money, but very few are taught how to think about money. We live in a world driven by instant gratification. Swipe now, buy now, finance now, pay later, delivery now. And somehow the worry is pushed back for later. But here's the truth. Healthy credit is not built overnight. It is cultivated through intentional choices, emotional discipline, and long-term vision. A good credit mindset means understanding consequences before making decisions, respecting financial obligations, building trust with yourself, and developing a habit that supports freedom, not financial bondage. Credit is derived from the word credibility because credit is all about credibility. It is a reflection of consistency, responsibility, patience, and self-control. So today, we're going to explore how cultivating a discipline, a informed and forward thinking as it relates to your finances and financial perspective can completely transform the relationship that you have with your money. Let's get into this. Because the relationship with your money and the opportunities and your future is all about having the right mindset. So, welcome to today's journey. Journey with me, D.E. Wilder. Today is good credit mindset, building financial discipline through healthy habits and forward-thinking decisions. Let's go to work. Credit begins in the mind. Most people think poor credit begins with missed payments, but often poor credit begins with, poor credit begins much earlier, even before missed payments, because it begins in the mindset, your habits, and poor examples. Because every financial decision is first an emotional decision, impulse buying, emotional spending, trying to impress others, escape stress through shopping. Life, living beyond your means, sometimes to maintain a status or maintain appearances. A good credit mindset requires emotional maturity. Because emotional maturity says, just because I can buy it doesn't mean I should. That goes back to the very underpinning of self-control. That one statement alone can protect your future as a whole. Many individuals destroy their financial future attempting to maintain a lifestyle they cannot sustainably afford. That's the fact of the matter. And it doesn't matter what level you are in life, whether you're starting out or whether you are a celebrity. We see even celebrities at that level try to maintain a lifestyle that truly they cannot afford. it always ends in disaster. They confuse luxury with success, possessions with prosperity, appearances with achievements. But true financial strength is often quiet and stealth. It's the person who pays their bills consistently, live within their means, save strategically, avoid reckless debt, and think years ahead instead of moments ahead. Now that is real. That is real power. That is real financial power, whether you know it or not. Because healthy credit is less about wealth and far more about discipline. Because you can make six figures or more and still have a disastrous financial habit. And then on the flip side of that, you can have a modest income while building exceptional financial stability. Why is that? Because mindset matters more than money alone. A disciplined financial mindset will ask, can I truly afford this? Will this decision help or hurt? Help or hurt me later? Am I building stability or is this temporary satisfaction? You got to come to terms with that. Is this purchase emotional or is it warranted? Is it intentional? These questions creates awareness, and awareness creates control. That is the underpinning of the psychology of delayed gratification. One of the greatest financial superpower is delayed gratification, because again, it goes back to self-control. Having the ability to say, not now, because I'm building something greater. I could put something on hold and I won't even think twice about it. Good credit mindset understands these principles. Short-term sacrifice creates long-term freedom. Discipline today creates options tomorrow. And financial peace is worth more than temporary excitement. Sometimes that last one comes in time and with maturity. We all live the life. So it's hard to tell someone 22, 23, 24, 25, hey, delay that gratification. At that age, you're living for the now. But if you hear my voice and you are in that category, trust me, making strong financial decisions early on will make you that much stronger financially later on. Let's keep going. Why? Because debt creates impulsively often use of finance and credit in ways that it should not be used. And what happens is it becomes emotional stress later on. And that stress that it creates once you start racking up debt has various type of effects on relationships, effects on your sleep, effect on your self-esteem, effects on your confidence and your overall mental well-being. You have no idea how many people spend a lot of time stressing over their finances or lack thereof. It takes up a lot of mental brain trust. So this is why it's important to get disciplined and to be controlled. It has an effect on your entire life. Financial instability can quietly become emotional instability. And that's a fact. That's why healthy financial habits are truly an act of self-care. Paying bills on time can be viewed as self-respect. Budgeting is self-awareness. Saving money is self-protection. Building credit is self-investment. Building healthy financial habits. This is what it's all about. Let's talk about those habits. Because mindset without consistent behavioral changes is nothing. You know how many people have the education, the understanding, the mindset, they study things, and they still do the opposite. It happens all the time. Healthy financial habits create healthy financial outcomes. A good credit mindset is built through repetition, not perfection, but repetition. Small disciplined actions repeated consistently over time. So let's go through a few of them. Habits 1 is paying on time. Now, I talk about this in my financial Fitness Friday sessions in the past when we talked about credit and we talked about building credit. The number one thing you must always do is pay your bills on time. On the credit report, they have a makeup of what makes up your credit score. A high percentage of that credit score is on-time payment. And that on-time payment should always be 100%. 99%, not good enough. 98, 90, as it go down, not good enough. 100%. Because less than 100% extremely affects the credit score. So 100%, paying your bills on time. One late payment can affect your financial profile significantly. And this is something I'm going to talk about in another conversation about your credit report and understanding your credit report, because unfortunately, credit reports are not fair. They're not fair. They don't work fairly. Oftentimes, they can work against you if you don't understand it. So we're going to have a session on that at a later date. Because as I said, one late payment can significantly affect your profile. But more importantly, late payments create habits. It creates pattern. If you say, okay, if you go through the cycle and you have a late payment, and then whatever the effect may be, you get a late payment penalty, or you get a ding in your credit score where your credit score starts to tick down. Once you do that, you say, okay, well, it would tick down a little bit. I could do a late payment again. It's not that bad. My score will recover. Well, in time, it can recover. But it creates a bad habit and a pattern that it just goes down from there. So be a good steward on paying on time. When people continuously delay obligations, they slowly normalize financial instability, whether they know it or not. It happens slowly and gradually until you get to a point where you're no longer in control of it. But individual with strong financial discipline understands a few things. Number 1, my word matters. My word is my bond. And every payment is a reflection of my personal accountability. Paying on time develops good habits. It develops the ability to be consistent, your credibility, your trustworthiness, not only with the lenders and financial institutions, but with yourself. Spending with awareness. Many people spend emotionally and budget intelligently. That's an imbalance, and that imbalance creates chaos. Good credit mindset requires a conscious spending habit. Before buying something, you need to ask yourself, do I need this? Does this align with my goals? Am I purchasing peace or purchasing under pressure? Will this decision create financial freedom or future stress and future debt? Awareness disrupts impulsiveness, and impulsiveness is often the enemy of financial growth. So, once again, the word of the day, the words of the day is self-control. Everything comes down to self-control. Here's a very important one that is a tick below payment pattern and paying on time. Remember, 100% is keeping utilization rate low. Yes, it said it should stay below 30%, but I like even half of that. Because this is the rationale of that as it relates to credit and as it relates to a financial institution judging credit worthiness. If you need the credit and if you need to use the credit, they don't want to give you the credit. That's just, it is the opposite. They're not giving credit and extending credit to someone who needs it. So if you keep the credit utilization rate low, that's saying to a financial institution that you can have it and you can use it when you need it or when you want to, but you don't need it. You're not dependent on it because they're not in the business of lending money to people who's dependent on it. That's just the sorry fact. Because credit limits does exist, but it doesn't mean that because this is your credit limit, you need to use it to the limit. That's not what it's for. It's for you to use it when you need it, to have it, to have the flexibility, but not to rely on it and depend on it and use it to the max. That's what they call it, to the max. A disciplined mindset understands self-control and restraint. Healthy credit habits involve maintaining balances, not maxing out the credit card on everything and every trip and every vacation and every opportunity you can get. Not the way to go about it. Because financial maturity is not measured by access to money. It's measured by your ability to manage the money. And that's a fact. It's more true than you know. This is why someone with low utilization rate and on-time payments always gets more offers. The same banks that you've been doing business with come back to you and want to give you more, or they increase your credit limit and things like that, because they're seeing that you don't need it. You're not utilizing it in a way that you need it. So they reward you with more. The ones who need it, who need more, they're not going to get more. Sorry. We'll talk about that when we talk about credit reports. So, number 4, planning ahead. Always plan ahead. A forward-thinking mindset prepares before emergencies occur. And this is why it's important to be a good steward over your finances and over your credit, because you want to have it there in case you do really need it. And there may come a time where you actually need it and you actually need the access to that. And you don't have the time to go to the bank. So you might have to pull out the card. You want to be able to have the access to it and to be able to use it in that way. Because the fact of the matter is, unexpected situations happens. And if anyone is familiar with my conversations and what I'm all about mindset. But the underpinning of having the right mindset is being prepared, come what may. Everything is about preparation and thinking ahead and being prepared for situations before they arise. Not trying to figure it out in the midst of the situation, which is going to be hard to do. Fact of the matter, things happen. What happens? Medical issues, job changes, family emergencies, economic uncertainties. I know these things sound familiar to people because they're happening all the time. They're happening now. Without preparation, many people rely heavily on debt during crisis. Fact of the matter. But preparation reduces panic. Emergency savings create emotional stability. Planning ahead creates confidence, and confidence reduces financial fear. So, this is going to require a deeper understanding. No one gets up in the morning, and it's a young adult or not even adult and know everything they need to know about finances. Finances is something that you learn over time, in time, and continuously learn and grow. That's why continuous financial education is so important. Finances. This is why you'll often get a notice of terms and conditions from your bank that has changed because financial laws have changed. The regulatory bodies have changed. Banking structures and systems have changed. Change all the time. And you have to understand this because whether you know it or not, everything affects you and your finances. Interest rate changes all the time. A good credit mindset chooses to stay informed because financial ignorance can become extremely expensive. Bad credit can become extremely expensive. So you have to learn how interest rates work, how credit score function. We're gonna cover that at a later point. How debt compounds, just like if you have a great investment somewhere and your interest compounds. Well, debt compounds as well. Just like your financial could move this way, it can move that way. How budgeting creates control. How investment grows. How financial systems impact your everyday life and the changing market as well. Knowledge removes fear and understanding creates empowerment. And this is what it's all about. Understanding, empowerment, mindset. Now, here is something that people, if you haven't recognized it before, it's something that you got to come to terms with. Because we are all creatures and students of our past experiences. What we learned, what we were taught, how we were brought up, the environments that we were in. So you can, not everyone, but you might have to get to a point where you're breaking generational cycles, especially if you were in a generational cycle that was destructive. Because many people inherit financial survival habits, but not financial growth habits. And that's unfortunate. Some people grow up hearing things like credit is bad. That statement most likely comes out of fear of not having control and not having the level of financial self-control. So the more you have access to, the more you might use. Or someone say, money disappears quickly. That could be true. People like us never get ahead. Certainly not true. Debt is normal. Well, that's questionable. Depends on your position, depends on if it's personal or if it's business. But today, you can choose. That's the beauty of it. When you know better, you do better. You can choose a different mindset and break those negative generational financial habits. A healthier mindset and a wiser mindset, a more empowered financial future is what we all should be working towards. So fact is, generational changes often begins with one disciplined individual deciding. One disciplined individual deciding, that means you can stop it now and decide to do something different. You decide the cycle stops with me. Make a declaration. And that decision alone can transform an entire family legacy going forward. Fact. Credit as a tool, not a trap. Credit itself is not bad. It's not evil. Management and mismanagement is the problem, is the real problem. That's where the problem comes in. Because a good credit mindset see credit as a tool, not a lifestyle, not free money, not emotional comfort, but a tool. Used wisely, credit can be used as helping secure housing, lower interest rate. The better the credit, it should be the lower the interest rate. Support your business endeavors and opportunities. Create financial flexibility and provide access during important life moments, as we just discussed. But unhealthy credit habits can create anxiety, being overwhelmed by debt, damage opportunities, and ultimately have emotional, financial exhaustion. That's why mindset matters first. Having to understand, everyone thinks, I need more. I need more money. I need more of this. I need more of that. I need more and more and more and more. And it's always beautiful to have more. But I tell you one thing for certain. If you don't understand how to manage and control at a higher level, more, it would just end up in disaster. I've seen it happen so many times I can't explain. So the difference between wanting and building. Many people want wealth, as I just mentioned, but fewer people want the discipline that is required to build the wealth. It's not going to just appear magically out of the air, because building requires these principles. It requires patience, sacrifice, planning, consistency, and uncomfortable honesty with yourself. Now, why is that important? Because if you're a person who just simply cannot get things under control, get yourself under control, get your habits under control, it's going to be hard to build those endeavors that you want to build with the lack of discipline and the lack of control. So you have to be honest with yourself and become aware that this is how I am. So for me to get where I want to go, I'm going to have to change. I'm going to have to evolve. I'm going to have to pivot. I'm going to have to change the way I do things for me to have better results. That's just being honest with yourself in self-reflecting moments. Good credit mindset embraces the responsibilities and the accountability that is necessary to be successful. It says, I will not sabotage my future for temporarily gratification or temporary validation. That right there is maturity. Because financial freedom starts with small decisions. Financial transformation really begins dramatically. Financial transformation begins quietly. Quietly. One payment at a time. One unnecessary purchase that you avoided. one budget created, one debt reduced or eliminated, one savings account started, one better decision repeated consistently. And eventually, small discipline choices become powerful financial habits in time and over time. And those powerful habits create stability, creates financial stability in time, over time. So stop defining yourself by financial mistakes, because the fact of the matter is we have all made financial mistakes. I don't think anyone is above that. I don't care what status you are, how much money you have. Many people feel ashamed and they hold themselves back because of this. They feel ashamed about the debt that they have, or how much debt, or bad credit and poor credit. Listen, I can tell you for certain, I don't care what your credit score is. So if you feel it's bad, if it's deemed bad, if you get the credit report and it say bad, it can change. It can change. You can go from bad to being good to being extremely good. It can. It just takes work. It takes time, but it can. So don't allow that to define you. This is where you at now. It's not where you're going to stay. So again, don't feel ashamed about financial setbacks, or if someone had to file bankruptcy at some point, or poor financial decisions that you have made in the past. You're moving forward. You can come out of that and you can move past that. But your mistakes are not your identity, and don't let it be. Your current situation is not your permanent destination. A good credit mindset focuses on the future. It focuses on rebuilding. It focuses on learning, growing, recovering, because financial wellness is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not supposed to happen overnight. How many times have we heard the story of someone who won lottery overnight, and then sometime down the road, they're broke? Hey, bro, I read this heartbreaking story of an older gentleman who won lottery, and he felt that he would be happier and he would be at peace if he made everybody else happy. So when he won the lottery, I don't know how much it was, but it was millions. Each one of his children, he gave millions of dollars to so they could open up businesses. Then each one of his friends he gave money to, and then each one of the family members he gave money to, and he just was giving it because he thought in his mind that he was making everybody else happy. And he gave and he gave and he gave until now he was going back to those individuals because he needed help. There was no more money. It's a journey. It's for you to learn, for you to grow, and for you to manage as you grow. It's not to happen overnight. When it happens overnight, again, it doesn't end well. So it's not a single moment. And every healthy decision that you make today moves you closer towards your financial freedom for tomorrow. That's what it's about. So as we close this conversation today, I just wanted to provide some little tidbits on good credit mindset. We can talk about the credit cards. We can talk about the luxury cards. We can talk about the benefits and all of the things that comes with it. But if you don't have the right mindset, all of that is just going to go up in smokes, because it takes the mindset and habit. I have a wallet full of them, and I rarely even think about them. I don't even use them, because you got to have the right mindset and see the forest from the trees. You got to think about the future. So remember this: good credit is not merely a financial achievement. It is a reflection of discipline, awareness, consistency, emotional maturity, and having the ability to have a vision. Good credit mindset understands that every decision matters. Habit shapes outcomes. Discipline creates freedom, and preparation creates peace. That's what we want. Ultimately, everyone wants to be able to have peace and to live in peace. Peace of mind. Who don't want that? So your future is quietly being built through your daily habits. Not someday, not eventually, but today, right here, right now. Through how you spend, how you save, how you think, how you plan, and how you honor your responsibilities. Because healthy financial habits are not punishment. Some people look at that and say, well, if I have a whole lot of credit, what's the use if I can't use it? No one's saying you can't use it. You just have to be disciplined in how you use it. It's there for you to use, but be disciplined. Because if you use it and you use it all up and you max it out, then the effect of it just turns negative. The whole purpose of it is now in reverse. Now it's working against you when it's supposed to work for you. That's the bottom line. So there are pathways forward. Pathways towards peace of mind, your opportunity, having confidence and flexibility, and long-term stability. So choose intentionally over impulsiveness. Choose with discipline over distraction. Choose with wisdom over intentional temporary gratification. Choose financial freedom over the present pressure of living up to whatever life says we should be living up to. And more importantly, choose to believe that financial growth is possible for you. That's important. At some point, everyone gets into a point in their life where it gets heavy. At the underpinnings, sometimes it's finances. But you have to always believe that you can come out of that. You have to always believe that it can turn around. The lack of belief will keep you in that position for longer. Always believe that growth is possible, that financial situation can turn around. Always believe that, because that is the underpinning of having the good credit mindset. It's the belief that things will be better and can be better. So remember this: your financial future is not determined by where you started, but by the discipline and the disciplined decisions that you are willing to make as you move forward. So stay focused, stay intentional, and continue to build your life, the life that you truly deserve. I am D. Wilder. This is Financial Fitness Friday, focusing on financial fitness for the future. And be aware that I have a background in finance, so I'm not just talking about finance. I've been in investment banking for over 20 years, and I am an accountability coach as well. And why I am an accountability coach, and this is very important to know why. Because just what I explained, I could be a financial advisor, which I'm not. I can be an investment advisor, which I'm not. But someone can invest, someone can be in finance and all of this. But if the person doesn't follow a set plan, doesn't stay consistent, doesn't remain disciplined, I can tell you with a surety, it will all go out the window. Again, I've seen it time after time after time. So in my accountability coaching, I keep people on the right path, keep people stuck to their plan, keep people focused on their goals. And more often than not, they accomplish those goals when someone is helping them stay accountable, not to financial institutions, not to the world, but to themselves. So that's why it's very important. So again, D. Wilder, Financial Fitness Friday, focusing on financial fitness for the future. Thank you for joining me. And if this message made a difference to you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Important, stay rooted, stay blessed, and keep living your life with kindness, clarity, and purpose. I am D. Wilder. This is Financial Fitness Friday, focusing on financial fitness for the future. I bid you peace and blessings. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that someone took something from this. And I hope that what you're dreaming of, what the possibilities are, what's ahead of you, all come to fruition. Have a beautiful weekend ahead. Peace and blessings.
That was excellent. Now I see the difference.
Of what?
I'm gonna just send you the screenshot. Okay, now
I'm sorry.
no, on the thing I can hold.
I know. I was going to ask you, could you hear it? Because I needed the fan. I have it up higher. This is a different one than I normally use. I thought it was quieter, but I needed it. And I just knew it would be feedback.
I sent you a screenshot.
Screenshot of what?
Can you see when people say something?
Oh, let me see. Okay. So today was 233. Congratulations, you are now more than 100. Okay. Gifters. Oh boy. Big progress you gain 1 point.
And then the young lady who always comes in, she sent the invite. She wanted to be invited up.
Oh.
So I put a response. I said, "Good evening.
Mhm.
For these sessions, it's just D.E. Wilder. So thank you for the invite." So I don't know if in the future you want to try to open it up, but
Yeah.
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 So you
Yeah.
should definitely send the invite.
Yeah. I'll do that definitely.
And because you know how sometimes a person has like they always have that little one box.
Yeah. But we should have invited her up because she probably had questions.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
What do you
So
think?
now that we know
Right.
that
We'll know for future sessions.
yes, yes.
Okay.
But I sent
And we should announce it too.
Huh?
We should announce it too.
Yeah.
Say if you want to be invited up,
Yes.
wait till the end of the session,
Right.
and then we'll have a
little conversation.
we'll have an engaging conversation.
Yes, absolutely. That'd be great. What am I saying? But yeah, that was cute. That's why I wanted you to announce the accountability because she was like, "Brother, full of some wise words. You look so cultural." I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. So cultural, so and intellectual.
Okay, so maybe there's something to this.
And then it says, "Are you by any chance selling a course because I'm interested?"
Oh, see, now that's God talking.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's God talking.
No, that's Dimitri telling you.
Is that exactly? That's God talking because now this is what it comes to.
Yes.
This what how do we monetize it? I could sit here and do this forever, but if we don't figure out how to monetize it, then we're just sitting here forever. So when someone's asking for something, that's God said, okay, now you turn it into X, Y, and Z.
Right. So we got to figure out.
So we got to take a moment and sit down and think about this.
Yeah. Because what I should have did is how can I say that I do that? Is there any way I can actually put like a link for more information?
Yeah, actually, I can. I got to learn how to do this better because I have to do it before I go live. I could put all that stuff on the screen.
Yes. Even the QR code.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But another thing I want to say is This session, and now I can see the difference.
You keep saying that, but you ain't explaining
I'm going to
nothing.
explain right now.
Well, what you saying that 10 times already, but you ain't explaining. Spit it out, fool.
Today, as I watched you, it was an even tone conversation that you are like talking to, like you were talking to like someone, trying to tell somebody something.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more or less like, um, listen, I'm here today just to tell you about blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, you can have a million credit cards, but if you don't use them, so you actually, it was like a storyteller. Even when you said, there's this old gentleman, the old gentleman,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're telling the story now, as opposed to when you're like, let me tell you, and you're speaking
Well, yeah.
on a higher level,
Right.
going over people's head.
Right.
This one was at
Correct.
a level that was connecting.
Correct. Because that
And
was
your tone was different.
correct. That was intentional.
Okay.
I said, instead of me being high, I'm gonna slow it down.
Mhm.
I want to talk.
Oh, I love it.
Or I'm gonna talk even keel,
Yes.
as if I'm just talking to her. I'm gonna move closer to the screen.
Yes.
That was intentional
Mm.
because, yeah, I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm listening to what Dimitri's saying, and I'm looking and I'm trying to figure out,
Mhm.
the better. And you'll see on Sunday where I'm gonna just change the format
Mhm.
completely,
Mm.
where it goes from lecturing to something different.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it's going to evolve. You start one place,
Yeah.
but then you evolve and you grow.
Yes. Yes.
And but that type of feedback from tonight, that is very promising because
Exactly.
that's where we want to go. We want to
Yes.
have a program that people can buy.
Mhm.
I've never been that type of person who believed in those programs.
Mhm.
And again, because I'm against so many things, I'm against them because I understand human nature. But my problem is that I'm trying to control human nature. Because I know that most people buy these programs and they don't do it. They don't complete it.
Mhm.
They don't see it through.
Mhm.
That's why I don't like those programs. But that's kind of stupid thinking if
That
it's
is.
my program.
Right. But not only
But
that,
that's the way I think,
No.
So that's why I need somebody else to come along and help me and say, no, you got to put this together. We're going to put this together because if it's up to me, I wouldn't do it because I just know what people's habits are. Because people need the support beforehand.
Mhm.
They need like the hand holding to get to the program, to get through the program.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I got you. But just now you said, people they need that help. They need that's the whole point of the accountability coach is to hold someone.
Well, but you got to bear in mind that accountability coach and the program that someone's asking about two different things.
Mhm.
So they're not one and the same.
Mhm.
But a good thing is that this will create multiple streams.
Mhm.
So these are two things. Somebody could buy this, or they can buy that, or they can buy both. But they're not one and the same.
Let me say something. And going back to that TED talk,